Gloria be styling, why your haters wildin'? She be out here grinding, everything comes in timing. Click that button, subscribe, yeah. Catch this nice little vibe, yeah. Beautiful and blessed, she shine.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Gloria B. You already know I'm back with another video. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, make sure you like. Thank you to everybody that subscribes, comments, and likes. Is appreciated. Okay, so today, by the title, you already know what's going on. I'm giving you guys a story time, and I think I'm gonna do story time on Fridays. So yeah, let's just get into the video. So this is a very informative story time. Now, by no means am I trying to bash or shed a negative light on the military or on the Air Force or on anybody that is in the military, works for the military, yada yada. This is just my experience of what I took away. So basically, I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago is when I decided that I wanted to, you know, get in the military. So I just had got to a point and place in my life where I felt like I wasn't doing anything. I felt like I was at a standstill, that I needed to make a move. You know, I felt behind. I had graduated college, so college was out the way, and so I was just like, what now? So that's when I was like, you know what, maybe I could just join the military. Now, I didn't just was like, yeah, I want to join the military. I was actually in AFJROTC in high school, so I had a lot of knowledge about the Air Force. You know, we had been to different Air Force bases and traveled and stuff like that, so I had a knowledge about the Air Force. So I wasn't sitting there thinking like, oh, let me just join the Air Force. No, I kind of liked AFJROTC. I was on the unarmed exhibition drill team. I went around helping recruit, so I really actually liked it. So I was like, maybe the military or the Air Force could be for me. So I took the steps and I got in touch with a recruiter, a local recruiter, and I emailed him and I left him a voicemail, and eventually he got back to me. So then an appointment was set for us to have an official meeting. Now, before I went to this meeting, because like I said, I already knew about AFJROTC or the Air Force, a little bit about it, but I needed to know more about the official military, and I needed to know about the things that I needed to know before I sat down in this meeting. Before I talked to a recruiter, I needed to know the things that they don't really like to tell you. So I researched and researched and read. So I didn't go in there blind. I didn't go in there like, oh, you know, and I know how it works with, you know, being recruited. And this is not just the military, but anybody that's set to recruit you, they're going to tell you a lot of the good stuff. They're going to tell you the stuff you want to hear. So you got to be knowledgeable. And I didn't want to go in there blind. So I did a lot of research. And so, you know, when we had our first official meeting, you know, he just wanted to know, you know, how old am I, why I want to join the military, you know, get the basics out the way. And one of the things that I wanted him to know was there was a specific job in the military that I did not want. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want anybody to feel like, you know, that I'm talking about their job or trying to talk down on their job. But it was a job that was high in demand, and I know that a lot of people get their job and they do not like it at all. And I knew I wasn't gonna like it. It didn't fit me in real life, so I knew it wasn't gonna fit me for the military. So I let him know right there, like, I don't want that job. That is the last thing I want. Well, that's not even the last thing I want. I don't want it at all. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he was like, oh, I understand, but my job is to get you what you want. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we had meetings, and you know how it goes. They got to get your information, blah, 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 blah. So there was one day we were filling out paperwork, and, you know, we had to write down a list of the jobs that we wanted. And I think it was like 20 slots. And eventually I ran out. And he was like, oh, put this one down. And it was the one I didn't want. And I'm like, why would I put that down? Like, I don't want that job. He was like, oh, that's probably the least one they're going to give to you. You'll do well on your ASVAB, so they won't give you that job. They'll most likely give you the ones you listed first. So I'm like, okay, you know, like, I need to fill the slots, so, you know, I'll put it down. Right. So eventually after that, I went to MEPS, and if anybody don't know what MEPS is, it's basically where you go and they basically do the physical part. They take blood, they see how well you can see, how well you can hear, you know, test your intellect and stuff like that. And they have you pee to, what they have you pee for? Oh, I guess to make sure there aren't any drugs or you're not pregnant and stuff like that. Yeah, and you take your ASVAB when you go to MEPS. And I scored really high on my ASVAB, and I passed all my physical and stuff like that. So then I got sworn in. It was not the official sworn in where you like, basically you finna head off to basic training. No, this was just the first one saying, yeah, you passed your physical and you passed your ASVAB. You're in the first stage. So I got sworn in or whatever. And he was like, oh, we gotta have a meeting. Like, we gotta have a meeting within 48 hours or 24 hours if you're getting sworn in. So I'm like, okay. So I left MEPS and went straight to his office for the meeting. So we get into the meeting and he's like, oh yeah, you booked the job. And I'm like, okay, that was quick. Like, what did I get? Y'all, it blows me that he tells me the exact same job that I told him I specifically did not want. When I say, I was actually so tired because MEPS is a very draining process that I couldn't even just negate it at that point. At that point in time, I was tired. I just wanted rest. So I didn't even say anything. I just was like, I remember I said something like, oh my God. And you know, he was just, oh, it'll be fine, you know. And I'm just like, okay. And you know, like I said, I was so tired, so I was just ready to go home. After I was able to go home and get some rest, I knew that basically pretty much like the ball was really rolling about this military thing. So I needed to really think about the choices because now I was going to be signing stuff. I was, you know, and I needed to be careful to make sure that things were in line like I wanted them to. So basically the main factor was I am basically going to sign my life away and with a job that I really didn't want. So once again, I'm not the type of person to want to be blind about things. So I read up about the job and read up about the job. When I say 9 out of 10 people hated the job, and one article really stood out to me, and I guess that was played a part in me just, you know, deciding on what I really wanted to do. One of the articles said, if you hate the job that you are in the military, you're going to eventually hate the military. If you don't want the job, don't take the job because it'll ruin your experience in the military. And that really stood out to me because it was true. Even though I might not all the time be off somewhere, you know, really literally, you know, fighting in a war or something like that, the job that I'm going to be doing is what's going to be taking most of my time. And if I hate it, then I'm really not going to enjoy the military. So with pondering on that and just praying and thinking about it, I never just felt comfortable with it. I never felt settled. I never felt like, okay, this is gonna be okay. I always just felt like I'm not satisfied. Like, I'm not satisfied. So I text my recruiter and he was like, just think about it, and we'll get back with it. So anyways, I ended up getting hired for a job and I needed my social security card and stuff like that. So I went and got my social security card, and within the meeting I told him I'm deciding not to go forth with the military. Y'all, in that moment, when I say this man's whole demeanor changed. He went from, oh, my job is to help you, oh, you're gonna do great, you're one of my best recruits. He went from that to, oh, okay, good luck making it out there in the real world. And I'm like, wow, are you kidding me? Basically, he gave me the cold shoulder and was like, okay, you're not gonna make it. And I'm just like, you know, and I further explained to him that, to be honest, the military isn't quite for me. Not right now at that point in time in my life. I still was young. I still needed to experience more things. And it's crazy that he was like, you should at least give the job a chance. But for me, you just want to fill your quotas and whatever it is to fill a job or to, you know, meet your quota for the month, and put me in something that you know I most likely won't love. And that's what killed me about it, because basically you're sending me off to where I could lose my life, and you just didn't even care, you know, as long as you got your job done. That was the point. So from there, in the end with our conversation, we didn't even end the conversation. He got up in the middle of me talking and opened the door for me to leave. And I'm just like, wow, like, it's amazing how a person changes when they don't get what they want. And that's why I'm glad that I did turn it down, because in the end, it wasn't for me. The whole situation wasn't for me. And if I would have went forth with it, I probably would be miserable by now, just being honest. And I probably would have never got to speak to him again, or, you know, voice how much I hated or whatever. I took away so much from just that little situation right there. And so to anybody that's even thinking about making a big decision or doing something that you can't really just walk away from, I just want to leave this with you. Do not settle for anything. Don't settle. I don't care if they say, well, that's the best we got, or you're not able to get that, you're not able to get that, this is all we can give you, or this is all that's left, or something like that. Don't settle. If you're set on a certain thing, stay set on that, because if it's for you, it's for you, and it's gonna happen for you. But if it's not, don't take it, especially if you're not comfortable with it, especially if it doesn't sit right within you. Don't take it. Stay knowledgeable when you're going into something, whether you're buying a car, buying a house, going to college, taking a job. Stay knowledgeable about whatever it is. I'm so glad that I read up on things and stuff like that, because he actually tried to play me and say you can't back out because you're already sworn in. I'm glad that I read, because I knew that I could say no, I don't want to do this. I hadn't signed an official contract or anything like that. So stay knowledgeable. Don't just go into anything blind. Don't go in there looking desperate like you don't have any more options or anything like that, because they're gonna feed into whatever it is that you want to hear. You gotta know before he was even telling me anything, I already knew the stuff that was coming out of his mouth. So I knew what was baloney and I knew what was true. So, you know, I kind of was separating the two. The stuff that was baloney, I let it go in one ear and out the other. I needed the truth and nothing but the truth. So make sure you do your research. Talk to whoever you need to talk to. I talked to other people that was in the military and stuff like that, so that helped a lot. Talk to whoever you need to talk to. Read on whatever you need to read. We got these smartphones. Everything that we need to know is basically on the internet, on Google, Safari, whatever it is. Make sure that you read up, make sure that you ask questions, and make sure that you go in knowing what you're looking for and what you're not looking for. Don't be afraid to walk away. If something doesn't sit right with you, if you're not ready to make the decision on anything, don't be afraid to walk away. You don't have to please anybody. You don't have to do it because you're in the process. It doesn't even matter how far into the process you are. If you decide you want to walk away, then walk away. And it's simple as that. I didn't have to sit there and keep stringing along. I simply just said I don't want to go forth with it. It doesn't matter who gets mad. It doesn't matter who's disappointed. You know, other family members knew that I was joining the military and stuff like that. But the thing about it is, this is my life. This is my decision. If I still had went forth with it, wouldn't nobody be in basic training and stuff but me. So you got to be careful about you and make sure that you walk away from anything that you don't feel comfortable with. One of the major things, pray. I promise you, just pray about it. Like I say, you can still research and ask around, but can't nobody give you a better answer than God. Can't nobody else answer the question that you have than God. And so, like I said, when I was praying about it after he told me the job that I would have, when you pray about it and you never feel settled, you never feel like it's answered, that's an answer right there. Because one thing about it, God is not a God of confusion. He gonna tell you what it is and he gonna tell you what it ain't. And if you don't ever feel confident about something, if nothing in your spirit ever settles, and so that should tell you a lot about whatever it is that you're trying to do in your life. And so, like I said, I think I already said it, but don't get desperate. I think that's what I did, and that's why I moved off impulse and joining the military, is that I got desperate. I was tired of sitting still, and so I went with the decision that sounded like it was the easiest. And so don't get desperate. Take your time. Right after I decided I wanted to join the military, a job fell right in my lap. And if I had waited just a little while longer, I wouldn't have to go through that process, and the job would have still came. Be patient. Let time do what time is supposed to do. If you get desperate and you start rushing things, then you'll cause things to happen that really weren't supposed to happen, and in the end it's not going to work out. So you just have to take your time, let God do what he's supposed to do, and in the end things will work out how it's supposed to work out. So that was just my experience of why I didn't join the Air Force, why I never joined the military, and I hope this video really helped anybody who is contemplating on this decision. I'm not telling you don't do it, but remember what I said. Just remember what I said in this video, and really take the opportunity to decide what's for you and what isn't. And overall, I still love the military. I still love the Air Force. I still respect those that do serve for our country, because it's not easy, and it's not, you know, a job that is really taken lightly. People really do die for us and die to protect us, and I really appreciate our military men and women out there. So that's the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure that you like, comment. If anybody has any questions about this video, I am so very glad to take any type of comments or inboxes or anything like that. But I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys be blessed, period, and I'll see you later. Peace.
I'm rocking with Gloria B. Show me what I need to see. Tell me who I need to be. Show me the God that's in me. I'm rocking with Gloria B. Show me what I need to see.